The console wars were always weird to me, even as a small tater talking with my retarded friends on the playground. The main reason for this is because I've always been part of the glorious PC gaming master race ever since I started gaming. With the added factor that whenever my friends tried to use a PC, it went about as well as the launch of the Challenger in 1983.
PC.
Go boom.
But I digress. The console wars as kids were always wholesome battles, nothing intense at all. It mostly consisted of, well, my Xbox has Halo. Well, my Nintendo Switch has My Riding Stables, Life with Horses. For the most part, meaningless battles, since we could all bond over the fact that we enjoyed gaming, which again was bizarre for me, because I played on PC using things like Steam, which most people I knew had never even heard of before I'd introduced it to them. Hell, one of my best memories as a kid was introducing a really good friend of mine to Garry's Mod. The motherfucker was blown away by the amount of shit you could do in that game. That was until some degenerates grew up and decided, hey, you know that thing we used to do as kids? Let's treat it like it's World War II, and we're the Allies. Before I continue, let's address the elephant in the room. Well, yes, this video is focused on the console wars. It is impossible to ignore the toxic part of the PC community, which I would personally argue is the equivalent to Hiroshima Ground Zero. They're the most notable wart on your asshole, if you will. I should probably get that checked out. Anyways, I find that what they're doing is the ultimate form of punching down, honestly. I do maintain that PC is the superior platform, which makes what they're doing, again, even more toxic. I really hate the ones that patrol console-centered threads on social media and are like, well, the PC, like, bro, shut the fuck up. I don't care if your cock is the size of an RTX 3080. You were never asked! Oh, I lost track there. The other thing I really dislike from the PC side of things is the people who act like there was no place in the gaming market for consoles, which almost any kind of research debunks immediately. There will always be people who prefer the consoles, and there was nothing wrong with that. In addition to people like myself who primarily game on PC, but also own a Switch as a secondary console. So to make an argument stating that the market for console is unwanted or non-existent, it's just fucking inaccurate. So with all of that said, let's move on to the actual console wars. I mean, they're just as pathetic. Now, if you've spent any amount of time on gaming Twitter, you've more than likely seen replies to threads by Xbox accounts, Nintendo accounts, or Sony accounts of people lamenting their disdain for the other competitor's platform. In reality, the rabbit hole is as deep as the fucking Marianas Trench. There's a whole range of fat, no-life neckbeards who probably spend their evenings either yelling at other fat, no-life neckbeards about plastic boxes or eating their fourth serving of a Burger King Whopper with their crusty waifu body pillow. They argue about a massive range of things, like how many more teraflops their glorified space heater has than the reverse Oreo cookie. All of it is equally as stupid and fucking meaningless. What many of them fail to realize is that the general gaming audience doesn't give a shit about any of this. They just want a box to play the latest Call of Duty or whatever other mainstream franchise it be. Hell, one of the biggest arguments from the Gay Station crowd is exclusives. They argue that the PlayStation exclusives give the console value, which, while true to a certain degree, it isn't nearly as big as they make it out to be. If it was, you would see the vast majority of the PS4's install base supporting these exclusives when they release. The fact that they don't just shows that for the most part, these consoles are sold to people wanting to play bigger franchises like, again, Call of Duty and Battlefield. Something that all three of the sides to this war need to realize is that each console is good and bad in its own rights. And to most average consumers, how many consoles a given brand sells doesn't matter. They're just looking to play video games, same as everybody else. I would go as far as to say that the reason most people will choose one console over the other is because their friends play on it. Though, it will be interesting to see how this is all shifted as crossplay becomes more of a norm in the industry. As it should. Which segues perfectly into my next point. Why spend all this time angrily debating which console is better on factors that, as I will state again, most mainstream consumers don't care about? To me, it just seems like a waste of time. one I admittedly myself have fallen into several times when something I disagree with about a system is brought up. I just hope that as time goes on, the community at large can become less toxic and begin banding together to stick it to these corporations, which ultimately have zero of your best interests at heart. Just look at how they make you pay for online, or hell, even on the PC side of things, doing things like implementing forced DRM into games. The moral of this video is that at the end of the day, we're all gamers who share the common love and interest for a certain medium of entertainment. So we should do our best to limit this toxic minority to be as small as it possibly can be. Anyways, this has been Sly Tater, and thanks for watching this everyone, and, well, goodbye.